Let's talk listening lessons. I love using classical music and jazz music and klezmer music and all the different kinds of music in my elementary music classroom, and especially in October, it's a little bit extra fun because you can pull out all the like fun kind of spooky songs, and it's just a little bit different from what you might typically pick the rest of the time. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of my favorite listening activities that you can do with your elementary music kiddos, some with younger kids, some with older kids, and just great ones that you'll love. Some of them are less or more Halloween-y than others, so let's get into it. Number one is not super Halloween, but they'll love it anyway, and that is fairies and giants. I use this every single year with my littles to talk about high and low, but I do cheat a little bit. So it's fairies and giants, which works because there's some parts that are really high, that's the fairies, and there's some parts that are really low that are the giants. But I wanted the kids to have the representation of high versus low, so I call it fairies and monsters. So we listen to the song, and this is by Elgar. Yes, the graduation guy. And so we listen to the song, and on the fairy parts, we flap our wings and be a flying creature. They may not want to be a fairy, that's fine. You can be a bird, you can be a dragon, I don't care. A small flying creature. And we flap our wings and walk on our tiptoes around the room. On the low parts, we scrunch down and we stomp to the beat and we make a mean monster face, which is the most hilarious thing in the world to watch all these like little first graders and kindergartners be like hilarious. And we scrunch down and do that so they can feel like, oh, this is the low part. There are some parts that are in between, and so in that part we are the conductor, just so that, you know, because I needed something to fill that part, and it's because it's kind of in the middle, so I figured that worked pretty well. It's super cute, it's really fun, and it's not super Halloweenish, but it's still like something I always use around the Halloween time because, you know, it's cute and it's fun. There we go. Next up is the OG of listening lessons for Halloween time, and that is, of course, In the Hall of the Mountain King. Now, I have a whole video talking about In the Hall of the Mountain King and a whole bunch of different ways that you can use that one. So I will link that down below, but I'll just give you some of the highlights. Number one is feeling that accelerando. I love to have the kids walk to the steady beat, and you know, it gets faster and faster and faster as time goes on. You could also do, I've seen people do it with like basketballs or tennis balls, and with the older kids, and they have to like, you know, dribble it like faster and faster. I have not done that because I don't have enough supplies for that, but it seems like it would be really fun. So it's on my bucket list to do one year. And then you can also do other things like there's some books, and one of my favorite things is, since it has half notes, typically third grade is working on, third grade, second grade, somebody's working on half notes around this time, and so we use it to practice half notes. And I even created a little like video play along that is in my In the Hall of the Mountain King lesson pack on TBT, so the kids can just play along with it, and it is so fun because once you get to the part where it's really fast, they're like da, 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 da. We do rhythm 6, so we do eighth notes, quarter notes, and then half notes. So it's like bum 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 bum. My video editor probably thinks I'm crazy, sorry Brian. But it is super fun. You could also keep the beat with the little kids with the egg shakers. That's really fun and not super loud, so when they get like really crazy at the end, it's okay. Yeah, so I'll link the video down below, and I'll also link the lesson pack if you want like lots of other fun things to go along with that. Next one is one that not a lot of you have probably heard of, but I love it, and it's called Herst. It's by Robert Franz, and it is so pretty. I actually sang it in college because I'm a voice major, and so that's why I personally like it. The only recording I've ever found is with a guy singing instead, but you know, whatever. But I love this one with the scarves because they have really dramatic passages where it's like up, 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 down, up, 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 down, up, 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 down. And so we're working on high and low. Again, fairies and giants, Herst, we're working on high and low. And so this one is like up and down. And so we use the scarves and we move up and we move down to go along with it. It's also super dramatic, so you can talk about like feelings. And so I always ask them like, what does this song make you think? What does it remind you of? If you close your eyes, what kind of picture does it put in your brain? And I actually have a whole writing activity I do with the third graders. So I have them do the scarves, and then they do a writing activity. With the younger kids, we just do the scarves and talk about high and low. But either way, it's a great time. I will link some stuff about that down below because I think I have a video on that one too. Next up is the Erlkonig, which needs no introduction because it's super creepy and so it's perfect for Halloween. And I don't actually have like a good, like super creative lesson for this one, other than it's fun to listen to. Sometimes I just put it on, let the kids draw pictures of whatever it makes them think of, write a story about whatever makes them think of, you know, something like that. So Erlkonig, highly recommend. I don't have anything super creative, but you might, so you can leave that down below in the comments for other people instead. And finally for today, of course, it's not gonna be the end, but for today, the last official one is Hedwig's thing from Harry Potter. This one also has that like spooky kind of vibe to it, and it has really, really high notes. And so we use this one again with the scarves, and we, you know, make our owl fly all around and match the music with the highs and the lows, and it's really cute. And then we can talk about the bells, and it's a great time. So highly recommend Hedwig's thing for that. And I use that one with the younger kids. If you wanted to with the older kids, it'd be a great time to talk about John Williams and different instruments and instruments of the orchestra and like kind of blend those things together. I have two honorable mentions that I didn't have like a good lesson for. I guess Erlkonig didn't either, but you know what, here we are. One of those is Aquarium from Carnival of the Animals. I know it's not supposed to be creepy, but it's super creepy. So I love using this one. We also do it with the scarves. We also draw pictures with this one, and it's a great time. And then Mussorgsky's Night on Bear Mountain is also a really good themey one that I don't have a great lesson for, but it's fun. And so if you're looking for more things or different things, then you can check those out as well. I would love to hear all of your ideas for listening lessons because I'm always looking for more, so you can leave them down below in the comments, or you can send me a message over on Instagram. It's at Becca's Music Room. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me, by the way, because I have a really hard time answering comments, but I have a much easier time at doing them, you know, on Instagram. So there we go. Also, I did want to apologize that I can't play all the songs for you, but YouTube copyright and all that, so sorry, but that is why. I will, however, link below the blog post that coordinates with this because I have YouTube videos embedded on that page for each of these, so you can listen to them there, so that might be easier. I'll click the link down below to get the things. Yeah, okay. Let me know your favorite listening lessons, and I'll see you next time. Bye.